it really changed my life. There's like a before the Venus light and an after, and I know that my life will not be the same. I feel like I can, when I go back to connecting with who I was before the Venus light, and I compare it to who I am now, there's such a big difference, you know. I still feel connected to that part of me, but it's not part of me anymore. I feel so much more free and light and stronger. Like, I know who I am, and I won't let people hurt me anymore. I know where my boundaries are, you know, grounded and self-confident. I think my whole frequency has changed, so I don't think I attract people that want to hurt me anymore. I don't feel unsafe anymore, and I used to feel very unsafe in this world because I have experienced a lot of trauma, you know. That has been my life. My life has been that of someone who was a victim. I was always carrying the weight of what I've been through. Is always kind of sad, always kind of lonely, always kind of angry. Now I'm so much more at peace. I describe myself as a very sensitive, empathetic person, but like underlying, I always carried so much trauma, so much pain. I've been really hurt by the people who had to protect me the most are the people that hurt me the most. I had so much therapy, psychologists, EMDR, all of those things that do have value, but I kept carrying along the weight of being hurt and being traumatized. So I was always searching, you know, searching for the answer, searching for healing. And I think it was a very lonely process, because when you're a survivor, it's something you always carry it along, but you don't always talk about it out loud. But you do project it, and you do attract new ways of being hurt. Because I was like attracting people that were not good to me, to repeat the process and to try to learn from it, but it was really unhealthy for me. You know, I've always tried to be a good person, but I wasn't always being good towards myself. And yeah, I carried a lot of sadness, anger, powerlessness, self-doubt. Yeah, that was the before. And now I can still relate to who I was before, you know. It's not a piece of me that's lost. I still know where it comes from, but it's not what I feel anymore. I feel so much stronger. I am so much more than my human part. I feel so much more connected to my divine part. So everything that is happening on a human level, I can see it from such a different perspective, that everything is really good, even the shadow parts. It's all part of the light. The way that I communicate with people is very different. The moment that I feel that someone is not in line with my values or with what I need, I just block them immediately. I don't take any bullshit anymore. I thought I had a good bullshit detector, but I didn't. And I felt like my soul was telling me, don't deviate. Don't let people deviate you from the path you are on. You know what path you are on. I know what keeps me healthy. I know what is good for me. And as soon as I feel like someone is distracting me, I will just cut them out. Where before I would sacrifice myself. But now I don't need other people to validate me. I validate myself. I am not alone. I feel like I have never been as happy in solitude than I've ever been, although I always like being alone. But I like being alone from the fact that I was afraid of people and afraid of the outside world and an introvert in general. But now it's from such a more peaceful and grounded place. It's not from a place of fear, it's from a place of confidence and being so content with who I am. I feel like I'm a really great person, and I couldn't have said that even 4 months ago. I would try to say that from an ego part, like wanting to believe I am such a great person, but I didn't feel it on a profound level. I'm a counselor, so I always work with people that carry trauma or pain or that are in difficult situations. I am so much lighter than before, so I don't even really have to do anything. I will just tell them what I feel I can give them. I will not overstep my boundaries. I will not overstep their boundaries. I'm not there to save anyone. Everyone has to save themselves. But I can be there in a non-judgmental way, and I will spread my light automatically. So I feel like my connections are way more safe for me and for them. Because when you're trying to save people, it doesn't help them at all. It makes them dependent. You make them depend on you, but people need to be sovereign. I don't know what's happening, but people are really attracted to me. I'm not saying in a in an intimate way, but people really seek out my advice, and people really want to be around me. And but I feel like I've never wanted to be just with me. Never alone when I'm with myself inside this universe. In the beginning, when I went through the activations, I was full of resistance and frustration. I'm gonna be honest, it was not easy in the beginning. I felt like the divine sound and the light language, it even hurt my ears. I was like not enjoying it, especially like the first week. I think I even sent Sabrina a message like, this is really not going well, and I was like projecting my helplessness onto her and onto the group of the Venus light. But then I just consciously chose to let go, to really give myself to the process. And I think that's when it really started to happen. Like when I was going through the activations, there were moments where I felt so much peace. Like, I think sometimes there are no words for the peace I felt. I felt so light, like part of something so much bigger that I can even explain. And I think the peace that I felt before everything happened, like the peace of my authentic self, like my soul, because I've always been a spiritual person, but I feel like this process allowed me to really connect to that soul again and let it sink in. I feel like my soul is part of me again. Like I integrated it, and like there were so many activations where I felt like cosmos like pulling me in, but also me absorbing cosmos. I know that sounds very abstract, but I really don't care. It's what happened to me. I don't even need people to believe me. I know it's true, and I know what happened to me, and it was really wild and really great. Sometimes I felt like vibrations, and very subtle. It's not like you're gonna space travel. You don't need to space travel. I think for me, ascension, it's not about going to somewhere. It's like about cosmos coming into your body and yourself, you know. And feel like I've just absorbed all the knowledge of the cosmos. And it's such a deep knowing that I don't even need to talk about it. I'm doing this testimony because I feel like the people who will be attracted to it, they will have such good benefits from it, but I don't feel the need to tell people how great it was. I just know how great it was, and that's enough for me. I just have to close my eyes and be silent, and then I know that my soul will tell me what I need. And yeah, you're never alone when you're aligned with yourself and your soul. And your soul purpose. I am aligned with my soul purpose, or aligning, because my process is still ongoing. So I cannot wait to see what's gonna happen, because but it's true, because I'm still in the process of, and I'm already so much stronger. So I cannot wait to see what's gonna happen. The Venus light, the way that it affected my relationship with the people around me, like mostly my family and my friends, it's really I want to say it in Dutch, opmerkelijk, but how do you say? They really notice it. My mom, and she says that talking to me, it really gives her light. It gives her hope to talk to me. I don't know what. I've always tried to give it to her, but I think now I can give it from a way more authentic place. Yeah, I can just see that people seek my advice. And I am, before I wanted to give people advice. I wanted people to need me, and I wanted desperately to help them. And now I'm not even looking for being that person, but they just come to me. And apparently it helps them. I'm still dating people, but dating is for me getting to know them, not the physical part. Because I'm like, before I let anyone into my energy, even just like a kiss or whatever, this is very personal, but like even just a kiss, I'm like, not everyone deserves this. I will not let everyone into my energy. So I am very critical. So I feel like my soul is really protecting me, and very easily can see like, yeah, this person is not gonna resonate with you. Just I cannot make the same mistakes I did before. It's like I had so many karmic lessons, and my soul is like, yeah, okay, we're done. So my relationship with myself, it changed like tremendously. I used to have a very difficult relationship with my body. Let's say my physical form. I didn't nurture myself enough. I worked out a lot. I've always did a lot of workouts and sports and whatever, but I did it to change my physique, to fit into an ideal. In this world, we have this ideal of being very thin, and that's what it's attractive. And now when I work out, it's because I love it. I love feeling what my body can do. I love feeling how strong it is. I don't do it to change it, because I do believe that I'm perfect. I know people will laugh at it, but I am perfect. I am divine. I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, you are so beautiful. And not just the physique, you're a beautiful soul, I can see my own light. I can see my own pureness. I think I didn't used to believe that I was a good soul, and now I just feel it. I don't need any convincing. There's no more self-hate, no more self-doubt. And when there is like this tiny voice of the ego, immediately like the voice of my soul is like, no, you are perfect, you are divine. So I even tell it to people, and they become uncomfortable. We don't live in a world where people are really confident in themselves, but yeah, I am now. I also experienced like such an intense surge of life energy like I've never felt before. So much joy of life, but I can feel it like physically, like energy flowing through my body that I cannot even contain it. Like it's a force of life and it's so intense. And you know, before the process, I used to be a very active person until I went through all the burnouts and whatever. But my energy came from wanting to prove myself, and now the life energy that I feel, it's not from wanting to prove myself, but from a pure, authentic part in me. It's like, yeah, such a joyful energy, and it can be overwhelming, but in a really good way. Like the I had so many blockages, but now energy is flowing naturally, the energy of life. I have this confidence now that abundance is everywhere around me. It's not about having a lot of money, but like being able to manifest what I want and trusting it. Like when I have a desire, I really put it out into the world, into cosmos. I close my eyes, I visualize it, then I let go of it. But you have to visualize it very detailed. I visualize it and I feel like almost everything that I have tried to manifest right now has come to me. I will give an example. You know, I was working a job that I really didn't enjoy anymore. That was not in line with it was not aligned with my soul mission, my purpose. And I lost my job. I was not afraid. I was not even panicking. You know, I applied to a job like maybe 2 months ago, 2 months and a half. They put me in the database and they said, we will call you when we have a vacancy. And I was like, yes, I want that job and I think I will get it. I will not even apply to other jobs. So I didn't do anything. I just enjoyed the process. And one day I was just working out and I got a call and they called me. They say, are you still available? I said, yes, I am. I am very available. I was waiting for your call. And so I have a new job. I will start in January and it's exactly what I wanted. So I think abundance is all around me, but you just have to, it's all around us, but you just have to believe it and trust the process. And I see it in small things. I think I'm even also, it's not about big things, because a job, it's a pretty big thing, but I am so much more grateful. I've always tried to be grateful, but I'm so much more grateful of the little things, you know. I can really, I sit in my couch and I look at the clouds and I'm like, how can people look at the clouds and be basic about it and not see the magic in it, you know, not see how abundant this world already is. My perspective has changed so much. I don't see myself as solely a human being. I see myself as a divine human being and a light being. And I also feel so much more light in my body. When I was doing the activations, I always felt like I had less power, less muscularity, if I can say that, because I'm a muscular person because of all of my workouts. But I felt like when I was doing the activations, I was less dense and I felt more light. And I even feel it now that I can also be lightheaded more than before, which I also think is part of the process. And yeah, I feel like even with all the wars happening, because I've always been a justice fighter. I'm an activist, you know. I've always been a justice fighter. I'm a spoken word artist. All my spoken words were about injustice and about pain. But I feel like all the pain in this world, I can now see it from a cosmic perspective. And I can see it in such a different light, and it gives me so much more peace. And it doesn't mean that I'm completely detached from it, But yeah, for me, there's so much more purpose in everything that's happened, and I am connected to everything. I've always been a vegetarian, but sometimes I ate a little fish for protein, little fish. But now I cannot even do that anymore. I'm like, every creature, every being on this earth is sacred and it's divine, and it all needs to be protected, you know. So even if I cannot stop other people from doing what they want to do, but I cannot do it. It doesn't align with me, and I cannot even do it physically. I feel like I used to be a big sushi fan, but I feel like if I would try it, it would make me maybe even sick, or it would not be good for me. Everything around me, like I want to protect it, you know. When it comes to love and worthiness, I feel like I have so much more love for myself, but really true love. And from that perspective, I look at people with more love. Like I can see people hurting each other, and I can see it's from a place of hurt and not believing in their own light. And it makes it so much easier to see pain from the lack of self-love, and not from maliciousness or yeah, I think I look at the world with much more empathy, even though I've always been pretty empathetic. But I see more signs of love too. I see like a mom and a kid on the streets, and I see how caring they are for each other, and it really I feel it more profound. I see more proof of love than I see of pain, but maybe that's my perspective. But it resonates more with me, I guess, because I'm on a different level now, which doesn't mean that I don't see that there's still a lot of pain. But that's not what I will send out. I will always send out light automatically. When I see people that don't believe in themselves, I believe and I trust that they will get there in their own way, but I really wish it to them, and I will pray for it in my own way. I am way more connected to my inner child, like the authentic child, the playful child, the free child that I was before what happened to me, you know. And but even my because I'm a very old soul, I really do believe it. People have always told me that, but I feel like now I just know it. I don't need to know all the details of it, but I just know that I am so much more than this human life, and I'm so much more than Yasmina. I know what I am, but if I don't listen to it, I will feel the consequences. And I feel like everything that I do that does not make me happy and that drains my energy, it is very clear that that's not part of my soul purpose. And I have way more clarity on that. Sometimes I definitely feel lighter, even more lightheaded, but I also feel like there's more light flowing. I feel less dense and less. I had so many blockages, like a heavy weight. Sometimes I really had to like drag my body along because my body was being held back by all the painful stuff. But now I feel like I'm more sometimes like walking a bit on clouds, can you say that? And yeah, like I said before, like sometimes I really feel like I don't have that much. I'm a strong person, but I cannot always use as much muscle power. I feel like there's more a lightness. And also my sister told me, she said, you look so much lighter than before, like there's a weight lifted. She sees the light, she saw the light on my face. My mom also told me that even not that my face looks younger, but there's more light frequency. Yeah, I feel like not that I embody light, but sometimes I feel that I am light. And people feel and see that light. I feel like I am finally resonating on a level that is a level of peace and unconditional love, and that is in harmony, instead of all those opposing energies and conflicting energies and vibing with people that are not good for me. Now I'm like on such a harmonic resonance that I attract people that will resonate with me, and if they don't, I will not allow them in my energy. Like my soul was outside of my body, and now I've integrated it again, and now it's way more easy to connect because it's inside of me. I just have to close my eyes, and if I want to know something, I will just talk to it. It will answer in for me, it answers not in like an external voice, but it's like a thought, a knowing, a deeper knowing inside of me, and it's so readily, easily accessible. I used to look for things outside of myself. That's the biggest difference. I used to look for answers outside of myself, and now I just look inwards. I have all the answers. I just reconnected with my soul, or who I really am, because I feel like deep inside I always knew it. I've always had this vision of the inner child in me, my small self before I was hurt, and it was such a kind soul. I always felt that connection with the universe. I always felt connected to animals. I always felt like I want to leave this place better than it was when I came. I want to spread love, and that's my in whatever way that I will manifest it, or how I will bring it into fruition, I will always try to spread my kindness, my love, and my authentic essence. Like before working with Sabrina, I did a lot of counseling formations. I am a contextual counselor. I studied family dynamics, and I did a lot of therapy for myself, and also started like spirit healing, Merkaba, things like that. But my experience was that I have never been read the way that I was read by Sabrina. My first session, I hadn't even said anything. I just asked her to read me, tell me what she sees from a computer screen. And she told me things, I felt like she saw me like no one has ever seen me before. I felt an immediate connection, an immediate safety, because she was so honest. She's very direct, so she will not sell you any bullshit, and she will tell you what you need to hear, but not necessarily what you want to hear, which can be sometimes hard to receive. But I always knew that it came from a place of authenticity, and that I needed to hear it so that I could grow. So I've never fought against it. I was always very open to receive whatever Sabrina told me. She's the real deal. I feel like no matter what spiritual process you've gone through, I feel like, it will not be the same as what Sabrina is offering. The Venus Light, I mean, in 3 months, I've made such a profound change. I cannot compare it to anything else.